Well, good morning everybody. Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. Today, apparently, is the 9th of June. I will be standing in for Adrian today, who has a dodgy tooth and is getting a little bit under the weather. So you've got me, apologies. When I stand in for this, I try and start off with the fact of the day. So I figured this one out. The secret to living a successful life, apparently, is don't measure yourself against other people too much, which is something I'm really, really good at. So there's that one. Before I go any further, we don't have AIM, so we don't have a blog writer. Would anybody care to volunteer? Paul's busy. I'm not going to look at Paul. Would anybody like to volunteer to make notes and write this week's blog? Or we simply won't have one. Terry, thank you.
Terry's very good at it.
Okay. So here we are. First of all, let me welcome our guests this morning, Roger. Thank you very much for coming along. Many of us, I think, have met him already, but he can introduce himself in this round. Good morning. The next part in our agenda is to pass over to that handsome face to talk about the performance. So let me do that. Here we are. Well, we have finished May and we're now into June, which allows me to pass around the totals for the Performance League of May. Congratulations to those at the top who've done so well. In third place, 185 points for Waterloo. In second place, 190 points for Brian. Well done, Brian. Very nearly got to write yourself a certificate. But the current, or the leader, 208 points was the Neil Bowler. Well done.
Thank you.
So I'll pass that around and see how many points got made up.
2 months in a row.
So, the next part is where I pass across to my colleague David Lumley for today's education.
So will the leadership team just stand up?
No.
Good morning, guys. I'm going to get straight on with it today and introduce today's education presentator, who's just shoved a bit of sandwich in. So, Vince, over to you.
A man was trying on shoes in a shoe shop, and the salesman says, "How do they feel?" He says, "They feel a bit tight." "Try pulling your tongue out," says the assistant. "Well, I feel a bit tight." Anyway, that's got nothing to do with the end slot. I just started so welcome. Anyway, as members of this lovely shiny group, we all have a responsibility to be on the lookout to promote the group and recruit new members. The more quality members we have, the more business opportunities for us all. Remember, it's networking. If 20 people know 20 people, and those 20 people know 20 people, you can see how the exponential growth can produce referrals. So be specific in your weekly 60 seconds. Ask, who do you know? Who do you know who's a practice manager at a dental surgery? Who do you know who's a decision maker at an HR firm? Who do you know who's planning to have building work undertaken? In the words of Mother Teresa, it's who you know, not what you know. Might not be heard when I think of it, but we have EBF business cards here. Carry them with you. Put them in your reception area. Take them in the sauna with you. They're laminated. They'll withstand the heat. Believe me. Give them to business contacts when you hand them your own business card, and they'll go, "What's this?" They will invariably postulate. That's your cue to tell them about this awesome business networking group that meets every week in Brentwood. Let me know if you like some of these cards. We've got quite a lot of them, completely free to EBF members.
Could you pass them around, please?
Yeah, well finished. In the words of Neil Armstrong, buy one for the price of two, get one free. Might not be Neil Armstrong, but you get the idea. Thank you very much.
Back to me, isn't it? Okay. So I think now we move into pass the business card box around. Do check that you're represented in the business card box. If you aren't, you need to take some more cards. And we will move into the 60-second round. Very important part for the meeting for most of us. The last meeting, it was Melissa who won the Oscar. So she's going to be going first today and then listing out and awarding the Oscar to everyone else. So, Melissa, I'm going to hand across to you first, and you will be followed by Mike Skinner.
Good morning all, Melissa Jackson, Kenway Francis, assisting companies and individuals in financial distress. I want to talk to you this morning about these documents. If you're unfortunate enough to receive one of these packs from an insolvency practitioner, that means that you're probably owed some money by somebody who's not going to pay. Don't do what most people do and just throw it in the bin. Tear it up, forget about the debt. Actually, out of these many pages, probably about 35 pages of information that we have to send out to creditors, you only need 2 pieces of paper, the proof of debt form and the proxy form. Complete these and send them back. If you don't know how to deal with them, speak to me. I can help you deal with the jargon that's in this document, assess whether or not you're going to get any money back, and make sure that you filled out the forms correctly. So, who do you know that might have received one of these and doesn't know what to do with it? Contact me, Melissa Jackson, assisting companies in financial distress.
Thank you, Melissa. Mike Skinner next, followed by Kieran.
Good morning, wonderful people. I'm aware that my work covers a real big range of industries, so it's not always easy to get across the clients I'm looking for, as they're more a business size than a business type, which is big enough to have a marketing budget, but not big enough to have their own marketing department as a rough rule. So here's a selection of my work to give people an idea of what I cover. I've done company head shots for Spill Arts Festival. I filmed burning kitchens with Dorset Fire Brigade. I'm flying a drone at Suffolk Pride later this month. I filmed mental health courses for Neurovitality Clinic in London. I filmed a custom motorcycle build in Malden. I've edited recipe videos for a Caribbean food service. I've filmed recipe videos on a fishing trawler with him. I've filmed lightsaber battles at Comic Convention and an architect at Brentwood Cathedral. I've done an aerial survey for Chelmsford Business Park and a sunglasses commercial on the streets of Kensington. So as you can see, it's a real mixed bag, and if you think anyone, or if you know of anyone you think could benefit from this, please pass the details on so I can have a chat with them. It's Mike at Blackwater Media. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, Kieran, followed by Sarah.
Everyone, Kieran Beatty, the architect for the group, and this week I have a testimonial, so if you bear with me, I'll read that to you. Studio 40 provided professional, innovative and friendly service all the way through our project. Kieran had the ability to listen to our ideas and design preferences with a clear understanding of the policies and requirements of building regulations in order to achieve our dream. This was really helpful and we were completely clueless as to what to do, given that we're first-time self-builders. Kieran came up with thoughtful and forward-thinking ideas which challenged the conventional build and opened our eyes to other ways of thinking that still reflected the modern contemporary build we wanted. We really appreciated being given different ideas, thinking outside the box, and cannot thank him enough for the end product that he has helped us to design. These are great clients for me, so if you know anybody who's looking to self-build, please pass them my details. And the great thing about this is that this couple are now expecting their first child as well. So not only have they moved into their dream home, but it's the start of a new chapter in their life with a new family. So yeah, Kieran Beatty from Studio 40.
Thank you. Sarah Steele, followed by Ben.
Morning everybody, Sarah Steele for Back With Money, providing financial education in the workplace. So it won't be a surprise to anybody that the cost of living is what is keeping us really busy at the moment. There's lots and lots of companies out there that want us to do presentations one-to-ones with their employees to help them to find the money that they need to pay their essential bills. But I just thought I'd share with you this morning, in the last couple of weeks, the government have actually launched a new website. If you just Google cost of living campaign, and what they've done is they've set out all of the support available through the government to help people in this crisis. So it will, for instance, tell you about the energy bill discount that all of us, every household in Great Britain will be getting in October, so that will be £400 automatically taken off of our energy bills. But there's also the cost of living payments for anybody who gets means-tested benefits like universal credit or pension credit. Will be getting 2 lots of money equal to £650. There's disability cost of living payment, extra cost of living payment, household support fund. If you haven't looked at it, take a look at it. So that's Sarah Steele, Better with Money.
Sarah, Ben, please, followed by James.
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse. Now, one of the recent announcements earlier this week where, coming on from Sarah, the energy prices are going up more than expected in October. It's actually going to go up a whopping 46%. So really massive increase is going to be happening later this year. But I can really help. I can help your friends, family, neighbours and colleagues save money. Just like I did last week with a young family, Dan, I managed to save him £112 a month on his gas, electricity, home phone, broadband, mobile phone. And a lovely lady called Jane, not this Jane, but a different Jane, managed to help her save a whopping £132 a month simply by switching their services to utility providers. So this week I'm looking for people you know that want to save as much money as possible with the UK's most trusted utility provider. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Thank you, Ben. James, please, followed by Hannah.
Well, I'm James from BHK Insurance Brokers. It's probably been at least 3 weeks since I mentioned property owners insurance, so I'm going to bang on about that. In the probably half dozen hours I actually managed to get off work last week before we all started partying, I had 2 inquiries. One a £3.5 million block of flats with several noted interests, and one a tiny little property up north with lovely little tenants that was next door with, as you can imagine, spent about half an hour on a £3.5 million block of flats, about 6 hours on the little flat. However, both got done, both got the right policy, both saved money, and both went away happy. So property owners, big, small, weird, wonderful, give me a shout. James at BHK Insurance.
Thank you, James. Hannah, please, followed by Emma.
Hello, I'm Hannah O'Shea from HFO Media, helping small businesses have an easier social media experience. There have been a few updates on social media platforms at the moment. Instead of typing captions and trying to think of how to concise important information, Twitter are now experimenting with doing audio captions that can be translated into nearly every language. They're also testing out Twitter Shop, which is the same as Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Instead of TikTok, have also got an update which is using face avatars instead of your own face, which is quite strange depending on what your TikTok is meant to be. So if you know anyone or if yourselves need any social media help, please be in touch. Thank you.
Tony.
Morning everyone, I'm Emma Taylor, Keller Williams, not your average estate agent. This week I'm looking to speak to local homeowners who are thinking about moving. Whilst activity levels remain strong and still significantly higher than the pre-pandemic figures, there are signs that the market is possibly starting to ease a little. Average house prices have risen more than 55,000 in the last 2 years and are 2.1% higher than last month alone, meaning that the average price of property coming to the market has hit a new record for the 4th consecutive month. However, it is anticipated that the effects of the increased cost of living, rising interest rates, will filter through to the market later this year or early part of next year, and a combination of more supply of homes and people weighing up what they can afford will moderate the market. So who do you know who's looking to move? Emma Taylor from Keller Williams, helping people move home.
Thank you, Emma. Toby, next please, followed by Stuart.
Good morning everybody, Toby Acton, Business Growth and Development Specialist. We're often told in our ed slots, and I tell my clients to be very specific about what you're looking for, not just say any company. So I'll tell you what I'm looking for in terms of motivational mapping. Motivational maps are really great for companies that are going through change, or are planning to go through change, or have gone through change, new staff, growth, whatever. So that's one end of the scale. I'm particularly looking for those. The other are those that are stagnated, that haven't changed much for 10 years, not much change in clients, and they've plateaued somewhat. Motivational Map can really help them to understand their staff motivation and get them raring again. So those that are going through change, those that have stagnated on either end of the scale, and pretty much everybody in between. So maybe that's not quite so specific after all. That's Toby Atkins, Sales Master Guild, helping business owners to be motivated and to get their staff better motivated.
Stuart next, please, followed by Luke.
Good morning, everybody. Stuart from Overview. What I'd like to ask for this morning is introductions into IT companies, IT specialists, managed service providers, specifically the small IT companies, the one-man bands, the guys who work out of their back bedroom. They will need to offer to their client base data cabling, but they don't really want to do it. They will need to offer to their client base voice over IP phone systems. They don't really want to do it. They kind of offer it because they have to. Their clients would expect them to. But generally, unless you're doing a lot of those things, it's a real distraction to your core business. And that's why we strike up some really good partnerships, specifically with small IT companies, where we can actually go in and we can do a partnership with them, where we will go in and provide those services white labelled for them. It's stuff they don't really want to do, and yet it's what we specialise in. So if you can come up with some introductions for us, please, specifically small IT managed service providers, as little one-man bands, people like that, please put us in touch. I'd love to have a chat with them. Thank you. Stuart at Energy Network.
Yes, Stuart, thank you. Paul DeLue, followed by Neil.
Good morning, everyone. Paul DeLue, Red Wine Energy Communications Agency. We help businesses communicate clearly and effectively. This week, I'm looking for referrals to new businesses, startups, and also businesses that are going through a period of change. One of the things he modestly says I'm very good at is helping people that run businesses understand or articulate what the business is. It sounds like a very obvious thing to me, because you expect most people that run their own business to know what the business is. But quite often what's going on in here is different to what comes out of here for people and goes out on a piece of paper. So where I come in is actually sitting down with them, talking to them, understanding what it is that makes their business special, and getting that down on a piece of paper so they can use that going forward. And that's so that businesses that are new, or businesses that are going through change, because in a period of change, the way a business is presented changes as well. So that's Paul DeLue, Red Wine Energy Communications Agency, helping businesses communicate clearly and effectively. Thank you.
Paul, Neil, followed by Michael Alexander Rogers.
Good morning, everyone. Neil from Chile Republic. Today, I'd briefly like to touch on the subject of opportunities and how important it is never to miss those opportunities when they knock on the door. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is half of the chili sauce range. We are not asking full price. There is a 20% EBF discount. So please feel free, £5 a jar for the most high-end chili jams, chili mayos, ketchups and barbecue sauces on the market. We are open for business. I've got a whole box of them there. Like we say, never miss an opportunity when it comes to knocking. That's Neil, Chile Republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil. Michael Alexander, please, followed by John.
Morning, everybody. My name's Mike Rogers. I'm a mortgage broker. That means I arrange mortgages for people. Now, the mortgage industry is very, very heavily regulated, which is a good thing. And every month I get a compliance bulletin sent out by the compliance department, and it always starts off by telling me that if I don't do these things, I'll burn in hell for the rest of eternity, or I'll go to prison for 10 years, and all this sort of thing. This month's bulletin is all about how to be nice to people. Reading the every pages, and I got to about the third page, but what do they actually want me to do with this? So what I've done with it is I've printed it off and given it to Sarah, because she'll probably find it quite interesting. So if you've had any people that are nice people that want mortgages, please refer them to me, and we'll probably do some of that stuff.
Thank you, Mike. John Hammond, please, followed by Tina.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology. We provide all sorts of security systems, access control, intruder alarm, CCTV. What you might not be aware of, if you've got a CCTV system at your premises, you need to put a sign outside to make sure you comply with the law. The ICO Commission will fine you a big fine if you haven't got it. Plus, you might not be able to use the evidence in court. But the other thing you might not be aware of, it also applies if you run your business from home, because it's still classed as a business premises. And even more important, if you actually claim one of the rooms on your tax form as being at home for business, the CCTV system still has to comply. So, because Terry is always ahead of me on the leaderboard, and I don't want you to use his services to defend you, I've got some stickers. So they'll be on the front there if you want to take some and put them on your front doors. Saves you a bit of hassle and stops him beating me on the leaderboard.
Can you put them up even though you haven't got CCTV? Just put them off?
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Tina is next. Terry.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tina. My company is called Liberty Executive Services. I offer a secretarial and admin service. Now we're coming into the summer and people are deciding to go away, but they're afraid about closing down their office because they could be losing out on new clients, or their clients have already got calling up because they've got issues, but no one's there. So that is where I can help you in taking your calls, acting as that your company is still open. Oh dear, is that bad cough? No, I've just lost it. So I will see you all next week. So it's me, Tina. I'm not a 9 to 5, I'm a start to finish.
Tina, thank you. Terry next.
Yeah, good morning everybody, Terry Rayning, TM Law Solicitor. I had a sort of inquiry I don't want that came in yesterday, which was referred from an ex-member actually, and it was what I'm always asking you to get me, which is a landlord and tenant one, trying to get possession of a property. Unfortunately, the husband phoned me in the morning, gave me his requirements, and the wife phoned me in the afternoon, gave me her requirements, and they're going through the middle of an acrimonious divorce. So if you know anyone in that situation, don't pass them on to me, but otherwise, if you know anyone that's got any letting agents or individuals who have got properties and are looking to get possession back, I do a great job, I do it for a fixed fee, there's no hidden costs. So if you know anyone in that market, or anyone who needs to get the property back, other than people going through an acrimonious divorce, please give them my details. It's Terry Rayning, TM Law. Alright, Vince?
Yeah.
Vince is next, followed by myself.
From Speed Print, a man walks into a shoe shop and he's trying on shoes. That's not what I want to talk about. These are all some things I've been working on recently. So really it's a who do you know. So who do you know that runs a florist or a flower company? These are little gift cards that we've printed. Obviously the business cards for solicitors, business cards for construction company. Do you know any of these people? These are place settings for a forthcoming wedding. This is a compliment slip for funeral directors. Do you know any of these people? This is a lovely order of service booklet for someone that's died. Do you know any of these people? Bad taste. Sorry about that. Another wedding invitation. Do you know anyone that's getting married? This is some little brochures for a company, technical company, and some. Oh, I'm nearly there. And these are some wine lists for a very nice restaurant. Alex's, don't know where it is, but he came in the shop, so I don't care where he is. You think if we ink it?
Thank you, Vince. Me next, I'm followed by Brian. I'll talk to you today about if you Google your business and you're never quite at the top, but probably most of you are familiar with that bloody competing company who is always above you or outperforming you in search, and you wonder why are they there and not me, and what do I have to do to get to where they are, or just even understanding what it is that those people are doing to achieve that ranking that's beating yours. If you are interested in knowing just a little about your competitors, what strategies they may have, what budget they may be spending on Google AdWords, how much work they're basically doing behind the scenes to get to a place that you can't seem to reach, give us a shout. We can produce some reports, find out that kind of info for you to help you steer, guide and budget for your own marketing. So there you go, that's me, Dot Scott, making the web work. Brian, please.
Morning everybody, Brian Pilgrim, hypnotherapist. Towards the end of last week, beginning of this week, it was just normal work, a couple of smokers and a lady who has a phobia about spiders. You can't imagine, they're not little creature spiders. Think all the tons and tons of insects they eat, which would overwhelm us if we didn't have them. Anyway, but yesterday it changed because a man came, he was suffering from stress, and so badly his wife had to actually bring him. As he sat in front of me, he was actually trembling and still haven't got to the root of what's actually causing the stress and anxiety. I'm not sure he knows himself, except he knows that he's suffering from it. So I'm really looking for people with phobias this week and those suffering from stress and anxiety. So it's Brian, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy. Oh, it's just a phone call away. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Jane, please, followed by Howard.
Hello everybody, Jane Mallion runs with Rapscallion. I'm from the English Cream Tea Company, which is all about deliciousness. But could you have your radars on for HR people? Because they often make the decisions over who gets a reward. They might even have an incentive scheme. I know a company that does jealousy gifts. They deliberately want something gorgeous arriving to someone at the office, and for everybody else to go, oh, what did you get that for? And then they can say, well, I got the most sales, or I got the most this. So HR companies, they don't have to be cruel ones like that, but they also tend to help decide the Christmas agenda and who gets what gifts and hampers. And we're all about gifts, hampers and treats and Zoom meeting, lifts and so on. So Jane Mallion from the English Cream Tea Company, it's my 10 minutes today. I hope you're going to join in with gusto. Thank you everybody.
Thank you, Jane. Howard, followed by Paul.
Good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Howard Bullock from Clear Financial Advice for independent financial advisors based in Ramsey, Billericay. It's nice to see you all again. It's been a good 6 months. I've lost 3 stone in weight, roughly. Not all such things can be measured, so you have to take my word for it when I say to you that in all that time I've not become even the tiniest bit wiser. I can't remember what I do for a living. It mainly centres around investment planning and retirement planning. A common theme that's gathering pace at the moment is clients who run successful businesses. They've got too much money in their company and they want to get that cash out. There are various tools you can use to get that money out tax efficiently, which is really important now that taxes have gone up. So if you know anyone who's making too much money, it's a nice problem to have, but if you want to alleviate the tax issues that they might have, please pass them on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Paul, that was our last member today.
Yeah, morning. Paul Booth from Booth & Co, Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. On Tuesday we spoke to a potential new client. She just left the NHS as an employee and was going to start contracting for the NHS and other companies. So yesterday we formed a company for her. She set up an online bank account already. We've already linked up the bookkeeping for her agent with her, and we've set up a payroll scheme or applied for a scheme because she's pregnant and she's going to claim for maternity allowance, which she's got time to because it's 13 weeks before the delivery birth date. So today I'm looking for anyone who's employed and who's going to be leaving employment and looking to start contracting. That's Paul Booth from Booth & Co. Minimise tax, maximise wealth.
Thank you, Paul. So that, I believe, is all of the members finished for 60 seconds, which means, Roger, we'd love to give you the opportunity to talk to us about your business.
Good morning. I'm from this side of my business, on my left here. I'm Roger Mallion, representing Marchant's Place, our Airbnb Georgian house in the absolute heart of ancient Norwich. Only about 1.5 hours drive from this location or a train ride away. Normally we do a 3-night minimum stay, but we'd offer EBF people a 2-night special price of $395 for 4 adults, including linen, cleaning and a cream tea on arrival. In the house we have 2 beautiful double rooms, both en suite. This is the smaller one. High spec kitchen photo. Study and dining room. And living room. No way, sorry. You get the whole of this lovely Georgian house completely privately with a parking space. Norwich is an amazing city, world-class street markets, restaurant shops, close to the Norfolk Broads. We get very booked up, so if you're interested in booking yourself a short but perfect breakaway, please contact Jane.
Thank you very much. So, Melissa.
Very, very difficult job. The 60 seconds are almost so informative. I learned so much and new things about people's businesses every single time. I will just say, Mike, I know that you are a very nice person because you helped me out with the question the other day, so I don't help with that. Paul, it's always interesting to hear about sort of new clients that you've got and ways in which you're helping them. Terry, interesting again as well to hear about your tenant staff. Brian, I'm always amazed by your clients and what you can do for them as well. But I think today, the person I'm most impressed with was in fact Kieran, given that you have assisted somebody and they've given such a great testimony.
Can we have a special mention for Terry's notebook matching his shirt?
That's 5 points. Okie dokie, right. Next item on the list says Synergy Team reports. Does anybody have anything to report? Or can we just skim quickly out of that report? Next one says Recruitment Drive. This is quite a lot of paper. And then it says 10 minutes presentation. So let me hand back to Ben. Who's going to talk about that? Sorry? Yeah, sit down for a second. Could Vince stand up and tell everybody his name?
I chair the membership committee, Vincent, by the way, and I'm also the official timekeeper. Carry on.
Thank you.
Welcome, good morning again, guys. Before I introduce today's speaker, who you know is coming up, just give you upcoming speakers for the next couple of weeks, so for June. So next week on the 16th of June, Scott, it's your 10 minutes, and Paul, it's your turn to do the education slot. 23rd of June, Neil will be doing the 10-minute presentation, and I'll be doing the education slot that day. And on to the 30th, Toby will be doing the 10-minute presentation, and the education slot will be provided by Jane. So, on to today's speaker. Now, before we go, when it's your turn to do 10 minutes, please go to the EBN website, download the bio sheet, and get it to me a day or two before your presentation. Can't do either of the presentations, let me know as soon as possible. I'll do my best to try and sort things around, but I can't guarantee when we'll get you back in. But today's speaker did go to the website and got a bio sheet, because today we have the lovely Jane Mannion from the English Cream Tea Company. Her position is MD or Chief Scongon. Nice. Named with afternoon teas, gifts and hampers. Covering Essex but all over the UK as well. Now, an unusual incident in Jane's life. Now, Roger sent Jane to collect 116 tomatoes from Tesco's. Now, it's not unusual as they do cater for large events and weddings, but they counted them out one by one when they got home, only to point out that it wasn't 116 tomatoes, but £1 of tomatoes. She was eating them for weeks, so if you look at that, it looks like 116. Something that makes Jane laugh, one-liner puns like, I googled lost medieval servant boy and got this page cannot be found. Or a man sued an airline company after he lost his luggage. Sadly, he lost his case. And that idea that you love. Now, you cannot hate someone who you shared a cucumber sandwich with. And that is the basis of Jane's TED talk, How Afternoon Tea Can Save the World. And finally, Jane is adopted. But when she traced her birth mother, she was kind of expecting to meet Dawn French. Instead, she discovered that she had a very teeny tiny mother who isn't British at all and weighs less than 7 stone. So bang went the excuse of it's all in the genes. With that in mind, Put your hands together, please welcome Jane Allen.
Thank you so much. The Scone Gnomes are here today, and thank you for turning up for this job interview. We appreciate you coming for our recruitment drive to see if any of you really are new Scone Gnomes. So we will be testing you out. There's a practical test, there's a knowledge test, and a taste test. And you will be given a task to do. It will either be applying the label to the tin in a perfect way, or creating a box in a perfect way, or applying a bow around a box to create a beautiful bow. Now, meanwhile, I will be moving on with the knowledge quiz. And could you put your hands on your head if you think the answer's yes? And keep your hands down if you think the answer is no. So, we set the Guinness World Record for the largest green tea in the world in 2011. True or false? Hands on the head for yes, hands down for no. So, those with their hands on their heads carry on playing. The rest of you are eliminated. If there is a cherry stone in your mouth, because etiquette is part of what we offer, if there's a cherry stone in your mouth and you're at a nice restaurant so you can't go all Henry VIII on us, do you wrap it up in the corner of your napkin to get rid of it? Hands on your head for yes. Those of you who said yes are out. Who is left? Whoa! Yeah, what do they do? No, you put it in your left hand and onto your plate. And have you not seen at the end of a meal, you see the waiters flick the napkins like that, and you'd have your cherry stone all over the place. I have given a TED talk called How Afternoon Tea Could Save the World. Those of you left playing, true or false? Yes. Did anybody say no? It is a yes. Oh, Neil.
I know I'm out.
Bless you.
Story of my life.
Jam on top is the Cornish way. True or false? It's false. Yes. Cream on top. Cornwall wants to show the cream off. They say it's the crowning glory. Don't hide it, and you get a big dollop if it goes on the top. Who is left playing? My book, Scone or Scone, the essential guide to British afternoon tea, became a bestseller. True or false? It is true. Our tea room, the Secret Sconery, is open every week. True or false? False. Now we take scones over here. Are you the last one? Yeah. Right. Excellent. Tony, you get it. You get a hat. Please put it on. Thank you. So we've got the first amount of practical things going on here. Please start labeling your tin or making up your...
I feel like some.
You've got to take back.
As you get older.
Now Roger will be coming round to investigate the quality of the workmanship here. Brian, have you got a clue what you're doing, darling? Does Brian shake it?
Have you got a lady? I've got a lady. Very skilled in getting it right place without actually having a lady.
How are you doing? Have you all done yours?
Very well, so
Let's have a look at the... Pretty good. There is a slight overlap. Oh, there's a slight Roger.
Nice photo.
That is a very special.
That's health and safety. It's security too.
Very good.
You're watching out for the liability there, aren't you, Terry? I think this might not be well.
This is what we're looking That's all right. I've always said I'd be well if I
Pretty good. That goes to the front place. Very good one.
Could be double.
Well, Brian has some help. So you can come back into the game. My great-grandfather kept British teapots going during World War I. Otherwise, they would have run dry. Is this true or false? Place your bets. And it is true. It is true. And in fact, he got given the CVE from King George, who is the short fellow, great-grandfather here, and he ran the docks, all the ports of London, my great-grandfather. And the king said that we're a nation of tea drinkers and please keep tea and sugar coming in, and he got rewarded for doing just that. Next question. I taught the ambassador of Singapore tea time manners. True or false? Of course it's true. Allergens. Because allergens is a big part of our world. We've got people that are gluten-free and people that are vegan and people with nut problems. So if this is a true allergen, hands on the head. Crab. Yes, it is a true allergen. Yes. Basil. You're right, it is not a true allergen. Celery. It is a true allergen. Lupins. True allergen or not? It is a true allergen. And people make flour, F-L-O-U-R, out of lupin. Who does that? I don't know. And it's a strong allergen. Big surprise. All right. So we can deliver to the southern part of Ireland. True or false? It is contentious. No, it doesn't yet count as Britain. I'm afraid we can't. But we can deliver to mainland, what qualifies as mainland UK. Are HR people a good referral for us? Yes. But also, 2 minutes, thank you. Also, people who give out gifts. Are they good referrals for? Oh, come on, everybody. Nice to say. The Sunday Times did an entire page in their business section on our business. True or false? Yes. I made it to page 3 of The Sun. It's false, I'm so sorry. So, as you know, this is our world. Afternoon tea. You've all done very well in your audition. Let's just check. Who said yes, it's nice? If you've got scissors, if you've got scissors, I'd like to have that taken off, but I won't hold you responsible. Brian, that's very nice. So you all did very well. A little bit more attention to detail. We are all about attention to detail. Even the unboxing, when people get their gifts. You know how Aqua pride themselves on the unboxing of an Aqua product? We count that as part of the pleasure that we give people. So attention to detail is everything. But meanwhile, the last thing that we need you to be dealing with is the taste test. You don't have to do it here, would you mind, Richard? But please would you taste test our lemon curd with passion fruit. A new batch has come in, and yes, you can tell us if it's up to scratch in due course. darling.
I will do that, Chef.
That's a little guy compared to yours. And so, are there any questions of Scono Roger or Scono Jane from the English Green Tea Company?
Any questions?
Any questions?
What's your favourite jam on the scone?
For me, it's our raspberry. It's raspberry with blackberry. I'm a raspberry girl through and through. Roger is a strawberry boy, and Charlotte, who works for us, loves the blackcurrant. So it's fine, we don't need to argue at all, as long as we have all three jams out. But I'm not a fan of what they give you in Canada and Australia and America. On the scone, they give you marmalade. So,
What's the difference between marmalade jam
yes.
and curd? So marmalade, jam and curd.
Yes, well, there's also conserves. In fact, there are about 8 different variations of it. It's often the amount of pulp and the quality of it, whether it's whole or it's pureed and so on. So I had a friend called Clippy Jam, that's her company, and she was made to relabel 78,000 jars because somebody decided that the amount of fruit per thing didn't count as a jam. It only counted as a conserve or one of those. So yes, it's a technical detail, but we go to a small handmade factory. They make it in coppers and they make it for us, and they deal with the technical side of it, luckily. But our jams. So
the jam, what's the pecking order? The jam,
yes.
fruitier than a conserve, which is...
Yes, I believe that's the case. Do you agree, Neil?
I wouldn't know.
I think jam is your best. But what's interesting, if you've ever had something from America, it's often just like a puree that's set. It's a spread, yes.
Jello.
Yes, not good. Not good. And there will be no evidence of fruit ever having been in it. It might be red and it might be slightly sweet, but you will find in our strawberry, for example, real strawberries. It gets very exciting. I have to tell you, Roger goes through them first and keeps back the very best ones.
You make your scones on pieces?
Yes, we make them ourselves.
It's a secret recipe.
It's fairly secret, but I will give out. We put a recipe in each of our jam packs, and it's nearly our secret recipe. It's good enough, and we've transformed people's sconeability with our recipe. And the top tips are: do not make your dough too wet. If it's easy to roll out, it may not rise very hard. You've got to have a workout with your dough, and down and up, resist the twist.
your personal preference, are you a Devon or a Cornwall?
My personal preference, if I'm not paying attention, if I'm just automatically, is Devon. I go for the cream first. So that's just what's instinctively. But I am a bit fickle. And the Cornish people are fierce about this. It's like the scone sayers are fierce. And the scone sayers are a bit more, okay, you call it that, I'll call it this. So,
how many curds are in this little jar of curd? There's a lot of things in it.
Maniac and Stannis.
Curds with a K need not apply. What's the curd? Just curd.
Last question, I think, is with Harrison, please.
I know you're going to say it's a personal preference, but according to the rule book,
yes.
Earl Grey, milk or no milk?
Oh, I'm a no milk Earl Grey because of the perfumed quality of the tea. I'm not sure there is a rule about it, but there should be. Yes, and if not, let's create one. I'm merely the queen of it, so I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now don't sit down, Jane. We're going to move to referrals and testimonials of the meeting. We'll start with Paul, as we usually do, and travel around the room.
Yeah, really good, Jane. Always enjoy yours. Highlight of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Referral for James is a done deal.
James is sitting.
And one-to-one with Howard, thank you, Money Exchanger, and Mike Rogers. Thank you, Money, thank you.
Thank you, Jane, that was lovely. I'm glad I'm not doing my 10 minutes next week, because I find out pensions would be bloody awful. Refer for Cool Booth. And I've got a couple of thank yous in, and nice to see you as well.
Yes, you're all good.
Can I take this home so my wife thinks I'm forward and I'll leave it on the side just so I can see excellent information, thanks for that. Good not to see you. Just a little testimonial for Terry. We've been chasing a £30,000 debt for about 6 months. And we said, right, that's it. You pay by the close of business today, or we're instructing Terry Mayland. And they paid it. Your reputation is in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane. That could go on for half an hour, and it's so been fascinating.
Bless you.
Good meeting, see you next week.
Oh, Jane, you're just the loveliest of loveliest people, aren't you? That was really good, thank you, and the little demo's brilliant. Don't need to go anywhere, I've got 2 for Nick Cook, but he's not here. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane. That's lovely. I can vouch for the loveliness of your cream teas because Jane gave you a wonderful box, and it is in the opening. We enjoyed the opening of the box as much as what the contents. So that was fantastic. I will taste that and let you know how it is. Just want to say thank you very much to Mike. He helped me out with a question. I called him up. I think he had the grandchildren running round. He was sorting out bits and pieces, and he still managed to give me some wonderful advice. So thank you very much for that, and also to James, who was sorting out my home insurance after lots of toing and froing. It was fantastic with that as well. So thank you to everyone, and see you next week.
Great meeting again, everyone. Great educational slot, Vincent. Could have done more jokes, but wonderful as ever, Jane. I've no paperwork this week or anything, but one thing I would say is if you've got a few minutes free and you're a bit bored, go on Jane's YouTube or TikTok. So read through some of the comments she replies to afterwards because it's really entertaining. That's about it. Cheers.
Thank you. Well, firstly, welcome back, Howard. I know Paul's quite happy you're back because he's been smiling ever since you've been sitting next to him. No offence, but it seems that you've been big, so love to see you back.
Thank you, Tina.
Got one here for Terry. Oh, she's a done deal. It's regarding a debt. So if there's a summons, you know, new trainers. Oh, that's good. Oh. And I had a one-to-one with Neil. Neil. And it's great listening to all your bits and pieces. And I've still got your book. And that's going back 15 years ago.
You made it a bestseller, just
there
me
you
buying
go.
it.
There you go. And I'll see you all next week.
Excellent, very important. What's wrong with my tin? That's what I was saying. That is a safety tin, so you can't inadvertently eat the contents of them.
You didn't really want to be a sailor, did you?
Not really, no. I'm totally honest.
We said it's gone now.
Money from Tina, but that will cover my story now. What the Ben spoke about, popping.
Yeah.
Sort her out. Horror story, my daughter is leaving, going into private things, university things, and she's got to sort her bills out. Some companies, but I was telling Ben in the shop, are charging you to amalgamate your bills. So she went someone did electric, water, and gas together. She said, oh, there's about 40 or 50. I said, you're joking there. 40 or 50 quid a month to do that. So thank you so much for the event. Mike Robinson, Mark Robinson, Yoga Mark. Some good for us. He's over there. The last one for Tina, so your 60 seconds work today. You've got a holiday stuff.
Yep.
Thank you, good meeting. Just a minute, catch up with you actually. Married. Quick mention on the phone now. Good meeting. See you next week. Thank you.
Great presentation, Jane. Love what you do. I think that's nearly the presentation of the year. So yeah, no one else needs to ask. Great, it's got Vince. Good to see you, Hal. Good to see you back. Good to see you, Roger. If anybody's about next week after
meeting for a one-to-one, then please let me know. I've got a referral from Nick Cook, obviously he's not here, so yeah, great meeting everyone, good to see you next week.
Great meeting. Well done on the Oscar. Yeah, well done on it. Just remember I said that next week. And fantastic 10 minutes, Jane and Roger.
Yes.
Often ignored, but
My
seems to be a vital partnership. And welcome back, Howard. Really good to see you back. And Ed Scott was alright as well. Joke was rubbish. Anyway. Had a one-to-one with Neil last week, and there's a thank you for the money to Sarah Steele, and a referral to Mike Skinner, which thank you very much, which is a club deal videoing, videoing in a couple of weeks' time, and I've got a one-to-one with Sarah after this. Thanks everyone. Brilliant. See you next week.
5 stars as always, Jane, thank you. And I'd just like to welcome the new Howard. I spoke to him, he seems much nicer than the old Howard. Can I just clarify, in case anybody misunderstood my motivation, the reason I gave Sarah Steele a compliance bulletin about how to be nice to people is not because I think she needs to know. I know she is nice to people and likes being nice to people, so I just want to clarify that. I'd also like to know who's responsible for moving the sun, because the last 4 years I've sat over there because you lot should all have the sun in you now. All of a sudden it's moved.
Thank you, excellent presentations. Really enjoyed that. I have to follow it next week. I'm going to bring some websites to pass around, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you for the money to EDF for the £12 that it cost me to buy the Naughty Corner sign, which I think is awesome. So there you go, there's that. Mike, I referred you on to do some video work. It's not really a referral, I think I've already got that through. John, thank you very much for the CCTV stickers. I think that was Oscar worthy and brilliant, very kind of you. Good music.
Thanks. Jane, what we say, brilliant, absolutely brilliant 10 minutes there. And always good to take away a little as well. But absolutely fantastic and got no worries in recommending you. Welcome back to Howard, always good to see you. Stuart, while you're messing around.
Attention.
Stuart, I know a friend of mine runs Colchester IT. I'll try and give you a connection with him. I'll actually give you all the details, but I'll have a chat with him first. Let me know what you want me to say to him.
Whereabouts is that based?
Colchester. And yeah, Toby, I'd like to get a one-to-one with you to hear a bit more about your motivational mapping. As well. Thank you for the money for ex-member Alan Moller's parents over in the Isle of Wight. And one for you, James. Quite a few promotions coming in the team soon as well. They all get a little gift set from you when they get promoted. But thank you very much. And James, we need to go one-to-one in next week with me soon. But great meeting. See you next week.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, lovely seeing the Naughty Corner. I've never actually really seen it all in person, I don't think. Well, it's, you know, there. Lovely. Thank you, Jane, Roger and Hannah for a really lovely Jubilee afternoon tea that we went to last Saturday. It was fantastic, and for today. But I've already been lucky enough to try some of that. It is incredible. That's lovely. I'll give a referral to you now. I've got a 40th birthday present gift to sort out, so I shall do that afterwards.
The green one, please.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Portaloo, thank you as ever for your wonderful blogs. We've got some more to sort out today. Paul Booth for doing my company VAT return when my new company decided they couldn't manage it. And Mike, my lovely present. Thank you very much. And Vince. Fabulous as always, but I'm not seeing it next week.
Thank you to Fanny and Johnny Craddock for great teamwork. Younger people need to Google that. It's really good to see Howard back. The Naughty Corner has been looking a bit forlorn without you. Non-existent at times. And Terry, thank you for explaining what restricted easement means. That's very good of you. And thank you to Howard for the money for whatever I printed for you. Envelopes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
And thank you also to Sarah Bell for giving me a really nice order for some acrylic signage for her new office, or pod, she calls it. So that's great. Money's in for that. Thank you. Great meeting and all that.
Yeah, great meeting. Great Ed Scott, can't remember what it was about, but I remember the joke. So that's the important bit. Fantastic 10 minutes. I've known and loved Jane for many years. This is actually the first product I ever bought from her, and those that have got bad eyesight, you may like to know that it's got passion fruit in it as well. It is delicious. And thank you for the Jubilee cream tea the other day. I attended with Sarah. Well, actually attended with my wife, but there's nothing going on. I have got a one-to-one with Neil Bell. There you go. Thank you for the money for Rupert, who's an ex-member, and a referral to Aidan. And welcome back.
Yeah, great 10 minutes. Really enjoyed your cream tea when I was over at your place.
Oh, bless you.
Really, really nice to see you back, Howard. Looking so well as well. When I last saw you, you were choking to death.
Yes.
I've got loads of refills and things to do. Well, I've been pretty lax because it's been hard work at the moment. And I'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Great meeting, great end slot, finished really good. Brilliant 10 minutes. When I helped you, when you asked me to help you with the afternoon tea, I completely forgot how tiring it was being a waitress. Wonderful. Hopefully I did. Actually, it was wonderful. Yeah, I had to have a large glass of wine when I got home. But great meeting. See you next week.
Mega Brilliant 10-minute presentation. I think they're brilliantly well assisted by the wife, so I think you've done really great. Thank you very much. Howard, fantastic to see you back. If you've got time to catch up, one cup of coffee next week or something. I've had a little Parliament one, so brilliant one with Brian. Where else have we done? Great one with Paul, great one with Tina, great one with Toby, seeing Hannah tomorrow. Scott, I'd love to have a catch up next week if you're around. I'll send you an email for a one-to-one. Other than that, look forward to seeing everyone next week. Thank you very much indeed.
What? That was a really good presentation.
Thank you for the meeting. It's very nice to meet everybody. When Toby's wife was at the tea on the Jubilee tea, she said that she called this Toby's playbook, which sums it up. So thank you very much for not throwing tomatoes today. That was wonderful. And I liked the tongue in the shoe joke. I thought that was very good. He's not even listening, but that was a very good tongue in shoe. Well done. And also, we didn't get enough laughs for this page cannot be found, but I think the spelling helps because it was talking about a medieval boy, P-A-I-G-E. Come on. We have to explain it, it's no good at all. And then I had sort of one-to-ones with a whole bunch of people this week because I saw them at the Jubilee Tea Party. But a special thanks to Hannah, who did come and help us out because our original waitress couldn't make it. And she was absolutely wonderful and jumped in like an EBF supporting person would. Well done to everybody and thank you for today.
Okay, don't sit down just yet, Jane. We do have a speaker's prize.
We do.
However, before we do that, we're going to look and do a referral reality check. So checking up on referrals from a couple of weeks ago now. The first is from Toby to Sarah. Advice only.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've had an email. I think I've contacted him. Yeah, thank you.
That's good. From Stuart to John Hammond. Access and CCTV for Olive Academy.
Yeah. We went down Monday. It's a really nice place, really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all well underway.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. The last one for today is from Emma to Mike. Introduction video for marketing.
We're ranging, aren't we?
Yeah,
Back to you.
We're going bowling tonight, but I'm challenged.
So good, great. In which case, let's do the Speaker's Prize. Give these a bit of a shuffle. Jane, come and pick the winner. The person the referral is from.
Hopefully not myself.
Can't win your own prize. That's one. The winner is Terry Rain.
Scope recipe, 3 different types of deliciousness, and a handy tea towel. Don't give it to her for birthday or anniversary, it won't go down well.
Fine for Christmas,
Do you want the rest of the leadership team to stand up now?
No. But what I would like are any announcements, reminders, special reports, or any other business, if anyone has anything they would care to add to the meeting of this stuff.
I talked a couple of weeks ago about some new business that we've got in, and the fact that we're recruiting for a junior consultancy administrator. We've had 108 applications for the job, and hopefully I'll be trying something new very soon.
Excellent. Brian?
Tonight is our 10th in bowling night. 8 people come in, so thank you for those who have decided. I can't bowl, of course, because I'm a Dodgy soldier, but soldier? Arranged to pick me up, take me there, take me home. I should be an observer and go good afterwards. And need to think of something else. Can I have just a show of hands who would be interested in
that sounds fantastic.
It's got around in cars. Okay, I'll fix that up, thank you.
You know what? I think we're at the end. That's it. That's the Speaker's Prize. That's the announcement stuff. So we are 20 minutes ahead of schedule. So well done for being super efficient with our time, which probably means there's enough time to squeeze in a quick one-to-one if you've got 20 minutes to hang around. So if we transform the restaurant back, the cafe back to its normal thing and take a view. But thank you very much. Thanks a lot. See you all next week.